Welcome to Indian Union News. Our guest today is Ramesh Kapur, a longtime Democratic Party activist official who has played an important role in a number of national and local campaigns, including President Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris. He is very passionate about Indian American candidates in the US politics as well. On Sunday, he is hosting a fundraiser for Congressman Raja Krishnamoorthy at his home. We are going to talk to him about upcoming very important midterm elections, how Indian Americans can get involved in the US political process, and more importantly, about the poor state of affairs of Indian Americans' role in local politics here in Massachusetts and the New England. So Ramesh, welcome to our show, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Pinder. Nice seeing you again.
Sure. So now let us start with your fundraising first on Sunday you were doing for Raja Krishnamoorthy. Why Raja Krishnamurthy, and tell us about him and about your fundraising as well.
Well, you know, of course, I'm passionate. I do all national elections now for presidential election and then chairmen of different committees where I want to get Indian issues or laws passed, US-India relationship. But I'm very passionate about next generation running for office. Whoever calls me up, who's running for state legislature, anywhere, whether it's Democrat or Republican, if he's Indian American, I'll give him money, the maximum amount legally allowed, and I'll try to raise money also for them if they follow certain things that are important to our community, and just not look at us as a money machine and forget about our issues. So that one of the person that I'm very excited about is Raja Krishnamoorthy. Of course, he has a great resume. He went to Harvard over here, started a small business, and then ran for office. And you could, if you meet him, you can see he is a successful politician. Okay, he's a successful person. He enjoys politics, and people can sense it. And so I'm doing a fundraiser for him in my house this Sunday at 12 o'clock. And if you need any information, my email is rvkapur, Kapur, 48@gmail.com. And he's an rising star. He went to Taiwan. Pelosi asked him to come to Taiwan with her. Also, anytime we have asked him in our Indian community, or I've asked him for anything, there are never any excuses. And the most important of all is that he's comfortable of being an Indian American. You know, we had a situation with Bobby Jindal, who ran for the presidency, says, well, he doesn't want to be called a hyphenated Indian. Okay, so you know and if you're running away from your own skill, your own community and your own scale, believe me, the rest of the community will, rest of the country will sense it, and they'll never elect it. But Raja, even in his faith, he was brought up into Hindu faith. He doesn't run away from the Hindu faith. That doesn't mean that he doesn't respect all the other faiths and cultures and everything, but he's comfortable in his skin, and that's the reason why I want to do fundraiser in my house and be successful and make it successful. And hopefully next time, the folks that are coming over here, they might have a couple of years, every 2 years, they can do the fundraiser for him. So please, if you can make it, at the end of the day, like I say, if we don't support our own folks that are running for office, nobody else will. And this is a great opportunity. You can see now in Boston, we have a Asian mayor, Black attorney general, even though the population is not that high. I think people are ready for change, and that this is a good time to do it. California, we have 2 congressmen, and we have a senator a congressman in Seattle, Jayapal. And definitely, of course, we have the Vice President, Kamala Harris, who is Indian American. And I did a fundraiser for her when she ran for the Senate. And I did 5 fundraisers for her when she ran for the presidency. And people asked that, why are you supporting Kamala Harris? You know Biden well, you know him for a long time. And I said, very simple, she's my DNA.
Now, I just wanted to make one correction. When you mentioned the Black Attorney General, you mean the potential Black Attorney General in Massachusetts, right?
Well, I agree. I I I agree there, but this is a democratic state.
Sure, sure. I
The
just wanted to
chances
make
of getting a black attorney general is
I just wanted to make sure that for our viewers and readers, they get the exact information.
like I say, I'm a Democrat,
Okay.
and I
So
always think that way.
so now my next question is, I know Raja Krishnamoorthy is running in the midterm elections in November, which is going to be interesting. Generally, historically, the party in the opposition who doesn't have the White House gets the majority. And my experience with you have been for the last 20, 25, 30 years is that your predictions have been 90% of the time right. So whatever you have predicted, I think results have been very similar. And you have a very acute sense of accuracy in predicting elections. So I'm going to ask you to look at your crystal ball and tell us what is going to happen in the Senate and House of Rep in November.
Well, one of my predictions usually is right is because I spend a lot of time, understanding. This is my passion. I spend sometimes 60 to 80% of 70% of my time in American politics. So that's what you're spending. Of course, business suffers, other things suffer, but this is important to me. So I've taken bets with friends who get emotional about their decision making, and they keep losing the bets. But what my sense is at the present time is that we will take 3 more Senate seats, 3 or 4 more Senate seats that are open.
And when you say we, I just want to make sure those who are not familiar, Democrats, right? That's what
yes. When I say we, I say Democrat.
Okay, good.
All right. Okay. Yeah, Upendra has to be. He's the press, so he has to show how bipartisan he is.
Sure. No, we have to be very neutral. Yes, of course. Yeah.
All right. Okay. But so that's on the Senate side, and I see the open seats that will take Pennsylvania. We'll take even Wisconsin. Okay, the senator is vulnerable, and then we'll take another seat with Ohio. So we will take Ohio. Okay, great candidate with Ryan, and which is a Republican state. Was moving Democrat, but it is a Republican state. But Ryan is a great candidate, so we'll take 3 seats, and then we might take another 2 seats that are there. Florida is there, and other things. So in this game, what happens is that when the wave starts going in one direction, all right, the key part is to ride the wave, and that's the key part. And I see the wave going on the Democratic side, and the key reason is, of course, is abortion issue. It's passionate. Women are excited. And they've come out and they have long memories. I don't know if I've been married 49 years. My wife has long memory. Okay. So reality is we lost, when I say Democratic Party lost the South when the civil rights were passed during LBJ's time. They lost it forever, for a long time. All right. Same thing is going to happen to the Republican Party with this Supreme Court as the ruling has lost the women and the youth for a very long time. So they're going to always be in the Democratic side. That will give the edge. And I might even go that Beto might be the next governor in Texas. Okay. Because of the women vote, and of course, because of Vivaldi that is there. So that, and on the House side, I think we will keep the seats again because of these issues that I'm talking about. And of course, Biden has a success track going, and he has a momentum going. And in politics, if you have momentum going, you can ride the momentum. And as you say, he's letting everybody know what he has done.
So let's talk about numbers in the House. For example, what do you think? Do you think that the Democrats will maintain their majority, or they might become a minority party?
My prediction is they will squeak by as a majority
Okay,
at the present
good.
time. And the question will be, would Pelosi want to be the speaker? That's where the question is going to be. But we have good candidates. We have Kathleen Clark, my congresswoman
From here, from Massachusetts, yeah,
from
of course,
Massachusetts.
yes,
She
yeah,
has a
absolutely.
great shot of
Yeah.
being the Speaker of the House, and we are already working with her for a while. Brian Pereira does the fundraiser every year. I attended. I give the max, and I worked with her, and she's very responsive. Whenever I
Yes,
call her in Washington, she takes the meeting, which I don't abuse it. So you have to remember, you don't want to abuse the candidate's time here. It's valuable. But
sure.
for important issues, you can talk about it. And one of the things that I'm giving you about the Kashmir issue, I wanted to talk to her because I wanted to make sure Markey is it's the other side that got to Markey early on, and he has got some opinions set. I wanted to make sure that she did not have it. So Sunanda Vasis made a 10-minute presentation about Kashmir during Lantos Foundation speech. That was the best. So I gave her the speech. I said, I want you to read this, and I want you to, and I am going to quiz you for it. Okay. I came back. I went there, met her. I said, Kathleen, did you read that? She said, not only I read that, it is on my kitchen table and has dog ears on it. Okay.
Okay.
And that presentation is the best presentation I've got in the 10 minutes, best 10-minute presentation that I've ever heard. So, India and we have great issues. The important point is that how do we articulate it?
No, but Ramesh, I'm going to interrupt you here.
Sure,
So
go ahead.
talk about the great issue. Sure, Kashmir, I think I understand there. But what India did on Ukraine, it really caused a lot of controversy and problems here in the U.S. and especially for the Indian Americans.
I agree. That's why I did an event. Again, Raja Krishnamoorthy, I had asked another congressman, which I had supported and everything, raised money years to help me get a room. He wasn't able to deliver because it takes energy. You have to get your staff going, everything. It wasn't that important to him. But I asked Raja at the last moment. He gave me the room. Now, whenever you do that, they're taking some hits. Raja took some hits about it because some of the people that are so passionate about India, that they are not open for both sides of looking at on the both sides of the issue. He would probably take hits, but he gave me the audience, and we wanted to do that, and we did with the American Hindu Coalition, because we wanted to make sure that people don't the community doesn't think that Hinduism is okay, says it's okay for the genocide that is going on in Ukraine. Very successful. And believe me, the Indian embassy was very upset. But hey, at the end of the day, we are Americans, and if it's a wrong thing, whether I went against George W. when they invaded Iraq, and I thought that was the worst thing that we ever did. We lost our credibility in Ukraine at the present time.
Since you brought Hindu in this context here, I have to ask you one question.
Sure.
You must be aware that there is some effort going on by some Hindu groups in the United States to rebrand Indian Americans as Hindu Americans. Mm-hmm. And there is also a lot of pushback coming up right now in the community where people are opposing, said, no, we are Indian Americans. There are so many people in India who are not Hindus. They are Sikhs, they are Jains, they are Buddhists, they are Muslims, they are Christians, and you cannot just brand that. So what do you think about that effort of rebranding Indian Americans as Hindu Americans?
Upendra, okay, there are Hindus all over the world. You know that.
Sure.
Right? Okay. About 79% are in India. All right. So, it's not when they say Hindu Americans, they have part of their groups are the Bangladeshis are there, Pakistanis Hindus are there, all the other Hindus from around the world are there. American Hindus are there, converted Hindus are there. So I think what it is basically, I think some of the people are just getting defensive about that. When they say Hindu Americans, they are thinking that they are branding India as Hindu Americans. My organization is U.S. India Security Council. Mine is very clear. It's related to India. It's the United States. They are saying, they are not saying Indian Hindus. They are saying Hindu Americans. So I think what we have become is that we have become so defensive about publicly admitting that we are Hindus, to the point that we have our elected officials are we had Tulsi Gabbard was the only one who of course he went a little too overboard, had it on her sleeves. But the reality is that let's not be ashamed of our religion. Yes, we have 750 years of Muslim rule and another 200 years of Christian rules with the UK over here. And I look at all this pompous and everything over there going on with the Queen. I like to see how much gems that was stolen from India over there. Okay. The GNP was our India's GNP was 36%, and it was when they left it was down to 6%. All right, so let's not be defensive about our religion. Okay, all right.
Okay.
And the key thing to remember is I do not like discrimination. Okay, whether it's religion, whether it's any part of religion, whether it is culture, whether it's skin. I hate any form, whether it's economic discrimination. Okay, I think all discrimination I hate. But let's not get defensive about our Hinduism. Okay, it is the third largest religion. All right.
No, which is true, but I think Ramesh. But at the same time, if I'm a Muslim here living in from India, and if everybody, those people who are not familiar with the dynamics, they say, "Oh, I'm a Hindu. Oh, are you a Hindu American?" But I will say, "No, I'm a Muslim. I'm not a Hindu American." So why unnecessarily create a conflict? Already there is a branding of Indian Americans. We are all Indians. We are all Americans. Just leave it there, Indian Americans.
But they are not branding. I deal with the Hindu American Coalition. They did a fundraiser, not a fundraiser. They did an event with me for where they said Indian Americans against genocide in Ukraine. And I had the president come out and say,
Ramesh, there is a very, we have written articles about this, very systematic effort is going on by some of the Hindu groups there. They're also approaching some of the lawmakers to influence them so that, this rebranding of Indian Americans become Hindu Americans. But anyway, that is another topic, very controversial topic.
Yeah, we can talk about that again. And then, at the end of the day, we'll talk about that in more length. I know the detail part, Upinder. Okay.
Everybody so we'll talk about that. Now let's come back to the midterm elections and let us talk about the Indian American candidates who are in the race in November. Of course,
they all are safe. Fortunately, they all are safe, including Kamala Harris, because she's not running again.
Sure. Right? Yeah, of course. Yes, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Raja Krishnamoorthy, I think, is a safe seat.
But there are a few other areas that others are trying to do, but I think there's a little more work has to be done. I think Impact is one of the groups that does that, but they have a little more work to be done. I think they're losing their focus. They've started out well. We're focusing on all the Indian Americans running. Part of the problem was they're not bipartisan because it's all Democratic group, which I don't like. I used to give them money every year, maximum amount. But I think they have lost the focus now. They are more worried about our generation running for office. They are getting into presidential elections, Democratic Party, the other areas, other candidates. And I think that's not what their goal was. And if they keep doing that, we will never get a large number of candidates getting elected. So my passion is that, and I'm trying to work with them to push them to stay focused, okay, and don't be all over the place. All right.
Okay.
So
Now let's come back to your prediction about 2024. First thing is who is going to be the candidate from the Democratic Party?
the candidate, Joe Biden is going to be the president, and Kamala Harris is going to be vice president, and they both will get reelected. And I will go a little further. Okay, and after that, I think Kamala Harris is
28.
28. Kamala Harris is going to be the first woman black president.
Excellent. We will touch base with you in 2008 and see, how accurate your predictions were.
Let's hope I'm still alive.
Sure, I'm thinking you look very healthy, So,
Right.
so now here is another question, which is local here in the New England and Massachusetts. If you look at the Indian American demographics of here in the New England area, you pick any sector. You pick hospitality, you pick technology, you pick academic world, you pick life sciences, you pick business, healthcare, anywhere. Indians are really on the top of the ladder. Any area you go there. Now, when it comes to the politics, I don't think that New England states have really done anything spectacular in terms of putting a good, formidable candidate even in the elections on the national scene. Why in politics the Indian Americans are lagging behind in the New England area?
It's what they got involved in. When they came in, everybody wanted to be successful, getting because of immigration, selected people came in. And all the top brass came in, and they did well, and everything was fine. But I think it's the kids are getting more and more involved, and this is what our job is. I mean, there's some young kids coming to my fundraiser. I always want the young kids. If anybody is coming, I said, please bring your son, your daughter, in the fundraiser, okay, or any event that I do. And sometimes what happens is that you always need some more people with inertia, with energy, to keep going and keep pushing. I think maybe our Indian press, maybe you can have regular, candidates or potential people, the next generation who wants to run for politics. Let's
actually, Ramesh, on this topic, the first thing right now we are working that we want to revive the Indian American Forum for Political Education, which
Correct.
has been really dead since 1917. And this is the time. So we are working on that project. And hopefully we do want to relaunch it before the elections and do all these things, be very active mouthpiece and organizer of a neutral forum for anybody of any political opinion to come and use that forum and communicate their message. So we are working on that, yes.
Yeah, get some new candidates.
Yeah, that's exactly the idea, is to get the new.
That we'll have to, instead of if we're saying why we don't do it, let's work together, Upinder. Let's target these people and groom them and help them. I know with the forum, we used to have a program where you used to get the next generation to work for different congressmen and senators.
The internship program was very successful, actually.
Successful, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All these people, they came from the internship program. Ro Khanna is successful because I put him, I met him in California. He says, so Mr. Kapur, what do you think? Should I run for office? I said, absolutely, run for office. We'll support you. And even though lost, I got him to be in the DNC with John Kerry's executive director of the U.S. Indian caucus there. And guess what? Of course, he stole my Rolodex. I used my Rolodex and everything, but he was successful. Yes, I mean, yes. He used it effectively and good relation with Pelosi. So that's what the potential is, and I think we can. I think maybe that's one area that, because I've gone on the presidential level, that I've dropped the ball in there. So probably that's where I'm going to probably also concentrate my time.
Yeah, we will seek your support on the forum Forum part, yes, yeah. So,
Absolutely. I do get the email and,
Good.
you get
Okay.
my support.
Now, your last word on November elections.
Which November election?
This year.
Oh, do you
Midterms.
want me to, you want me to repeat in the House and the Senate?
Yes, yeah, so that we will hold you accountable for that. Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm already on tape, okay?
Okay.
We will take 3 Senate seats extra, all right? And we will keep the House. That's
And
what my prediction is.
And in 2028, we will have Kamala Harris as the presidential candidate, right?
I have a plan and I'm working on it, and we will talk about that. I have a 16-state strategy, all right? Where I will involve the Indian Americans in the 16 states with her. And the next election, but I think Biden is healthy. He'll be fine. You hear him. I don't know why people, stereotype the stuff. And look at the long speeches he gives. He's on his
Sure.
feet all the time. So the guy is healthy. I know him. Okay.
Okay, Ramesh, thank you very much. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, and we will touch base again, definitely after November midterm elections, and definitely I promise that I'm going to book it right away for another interview with you in 2028.
Well, I want to just another reminder. Come support our Raja Krishnamoorthy. He's done everything we have asked him for, and a great sense of humor too. And also, my email is rvkapur, Kapur 48@gmail.com. Come to the fundraiser. Bring your sons and daughter also. Let's get them excited. And if you need any questions, my numbers or whatever you need, just call Upinder Mishra. Okay, he'll give it to you.
Sure. Okay, Ramesh, thank you so much, and see you on Sunday.
Thanks for giving me the time, Upinder.
Excellent.